I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-ma-gob! It's time for the only news that matters. And 2024 will mark the 40th anniversary of one of my favorite films. At the same time, 2024 will also mark the start of the shooting process of the film that will take its throne. The director Rob Reiner will commence filming the sequel to This is Spinal Tap in February of 2024. So at least that's what he said in recent appearance of the Richard Herring show, along with the info that it will feature Paul McCartney and Elton John joining the acting trio of Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer. And Reiner, of course, who be Marty DeBurgi again, and that's awesome because I love Martin DeBurgi. As Variety reports, sharing some details about the Spinal Tap making a comeback in a new film, Reiner offered this injection. He said, "We're going to start shooting at the end of February and everybody is back. They played Albert Hall, played Wembley Stadium all over the country and in Europe. They haven't spent any time together recently." And getting more into the plot of the upcoming film, the director added that the passing of the actor Tony Hendra, who played the manager Ian Faith in the original film, will affect the story. Said the idea was that Ian Faith, who was their manager, had passed away. In reality, Tony Hendra passed away. Ian's widow inherited a contract that said Spinal Tap owed them one more concert, and she was basically going to sue them if they didn't. All these years, a lot of bad blood we'll get into, and they're thrown back together and forced to deal with each other and play this concert. Talking about his role as a documentarian, Marty DeBurgi, Reiner said, "The band was upset with the first film. They thought I did a hatchet job, and this was a chance to redeem myself. I'm such a big fan, and I felt bad that they didn't like the way they saw the first film." Well, there you go. I am very excited to see this. Will it top the first one? I highly doubt it, but let's see what happens. Should be fun. I mean, I hope it's fun. Unlike the only time I ever saw Spinal Tap, it wasn't really even Spinal Tap. It was called like the Unwigged, the Unplugged tour, something like that. And they played the Fillmore here on Miami Beach, and there was not a lot of people there. That Michael McKean even said during the show, "Oh, please turn the lights down. This is embarrassing," because there was nobody there. It was really, really empty. And a friend of mine met them before, and he said that Christopher Guest was really nasty, and Michael McKean wasn't nice either. And well, after the show, I went to the back, see if I, meet any of them. I'm hanging out. I lived on the beach, so I lived blocks away. So I was just hanging out in the back, see if I can meet them. And Harry Shearer, who is probably the most popular out of all of them because he plays Principal Skinner, and he's more popular than the other two. That guy could not have been nicer. He was amazing. He came out, he was very nice to everybody, took pictures. Then Michael McKean came, and there was like a Laverne and Shirley board game or something like that. And he said, "I'm not signing that," which I thought was pretty dickish, but whatever. And Christopher Guest did not even, we saw him. And people were screaming his name, Christopher, Christopher, Nigel, Nigel. He heard us, and he went straight into the bus. And, yeah, that was kind of lame. But, yeah, I got to say, out of all three of them, Harry Shearer was the nicest. That when I saw Michael McKean say that to that dude, I was like, oh, fuck this guy. You know? But, yeah, and, you know, Spinal Tap, when I saw it when it first came out, like, but it was a midnight movie. It might have been out in the theater for a little while. And we went with my friends, and I had no idea this was a fictional band. You know, I saw the video for Hellhole, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of rocking, you know. So it was one night, I don't know, we just ended up, hey, they're showing Spinal Tap, want to go see it? Yeah, let's go. And I hated it because I thought it was a real band, and I did not understand the movie at all. I thought it was just lame. I didn't get it at all. It wasn't until years later, you know, that, yeah, it's a fictional band, and it's my favorite, you know, mockumentary or however you want to say it. It's just such a great film that's timeless with a bunch of great lines in it, and, you know, little guest appearance, Robin Williams, Billy Crystal, Paul Schaefer. Great stuff, man. It's an awesome movie that I pop in at least once a year. And every single time I watch it, I laugh. And the extras on the Blu-ray are actually longer than the movie, which is wild. But yeah, it's a great flick. And I'm happy they're doing a sequel to it. I read a long time ago, and I might have the story a little confused. So if anybody knows the full story, please leave it in the comments below. I read that they have to come out every 4 or 5 years, something like that, Spinal Tap. Like some kind of contract that Spinal Tap has to come out every 4 or 5 years. And, you know, they haven't been out for a while, but I think because of the bass player, Harry Shearer, has been releasing solo albums. Maybe that counts as Spinal Tap stuff. But I wish I could have seen the Break Like the Wind tour, because that was booked to play in Miami, and they canceled it. I don't know if it was for low ticket sales, but I had a ticket for that. And that was great, because I saw video of that stuff. They're all electric. The one I saw, they were playing acoustic, and, you know, they were not wearing wigs, and it was just... It was lame, and I'm a big Spinal Tap fan, and I didn't like it at all. And a shout out to Rob Reiner, the director of the movie. As we all know, he was Meathead on pretty much my favorite sitcom of all time, was All in the Family. I can never get enough of Archie Bunker's facial expressions. Carol Connor was awesome, and that show was awesome. I own them all on DVD, and I watch them regularly. Can never get enough of it. So there you go. Spinal Tap is making a sequel that, wow, wouldn't it be shocking if it was better than the original? I would find that hard to believe, but you never know. Wackier things have happened on this planet. And I want to thank you all for watching The Only News That Matters. I appreciate each and every one of you that are listening to my voice right now. And I hope you're subscribed to my channel. If you're not, please subscribe. Hit the little notification bell. Leave your comments below of what you feel about Spinal Tap. I'd really appreciate that. And hey, like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.
Before we get canceled, check out the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast with me and Wattzilla. We are the Podcast Kings. Link to the podcast is in the description below, and also a link to the YouTube page. Check out older episodes with visuals. And very soon, either Ian and I will learn how to go on YouTube Live. Might be soon. So check out the greatest podcast ever according to science.com. It's also God's favorite podcast and Satan's favorite podcast as well. So check out the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast before we get canceled.